Part 1, Question 1, Article 3, whether sacred doctrine is 1, science. In the previous article, Thomas showed that sacred doctrine is a science. Principles apply. It's an organized study, not just a constellation of opinions and feelings and the like. Principles apply. This article is related, whether sacred doctrine is unified, whether it is one science. The authority quoted here is Scripture, a deuterocanonical book. Wisdom gave him the knowledge, the scientiam, which is singular. Wisdom gave him the knowledge of holy things. Whether you read it in the Greek, the Latin, or the English, knowledge is singular. It's a subtle point, but we can rephrase it like this. Are we learning many things or just one thing when we study theology? You could imagine going to a seminary. Guess the kinds of courses you might need to take there. History, philosophy, languages, Old Testament, New Testament. Maybe you are good at some of these and you struggle with others. Is theology like that? Thomas says no. Objection 1, but theology treats two things, the creator and the creature, God and man. You can see that from the outline of the Summa. Starts with God and then creation going out to man and then salvation, our path back to God. Doesn't theology mean it looking at two different things, God on the one hand and then man on the other hand? Objection 2. The Summa will cover all sorts of different topics, from physical creation to angels to morality to grace. All these different topics. Don't different topics deserve and require different approaches, different courses in the seminary? Not necessarily, says St. Thomas. Sacred doctrine is the study of God's revelation. All these topics are studied based on the question, what did God want to show us about this topic? What did he reveal about this topic? God is always at the center for Thomas. So no, theology does not study God and man. Theology is the study of God. Theology only cares about man because God is showing us something of his power and mercy in creating man in his image and likeness. And God showed us more of his power and mercy in the wonderful way that he saves us and redeems us. Theology is not primarily about how to live a good life or even about how to get to heaven. It's all about God. We care about mankind and salvation because God has showed us something about that. Different objects ought to be treated in different ways with different methods. That's true. And we do treat different objects in different ways. Moreover, quote, the higher faculty or habit regards the object in its more universal formality. For example, we could study plants and cats and people as all having the power of nutrition. But studying cats and people as having the power of locomotion is a better way to study them, and studying man as the rational animal is a better way, a more honest way, because it's the higher faculty that regards the object in its more universal formality. Theology treats all these things as they relate to God. It treats all these things as things created by God. Quote, so that in this way sacred doctrine bears, as it were, the stamp of the divine science, which is one and simple, yet extends to everything. Thomas is highly organized, and that is the point. He lays out his mission to use faith and reason together to receive what God has chosen to reveal about himself. Not so much to know more things about God, but to know God better.